Vacillations tend to confuse the universe. You must be clean, clear, and precise with your intentions. You cannot be wavering in your faith, your belief, your trust, your hope, your knowing, your certainty that God's got your back. Because the universe recognizes everything, contrary to popular belief that they're feeding you in this mainstream society, the information that you're gathering, saying that the universe can't tell the difference between positive and negative. When you say universe, you're saying God. And to infer that God can't tell the difference between one thing and another, that's just ludicrous and risible. Absolutely. Absolutely. Universe knows everything. Everything that you sense and you feel and you see, everything that you think and imagine, and everything you ponder and contemplate, and all your impulses and instincts, everything is attached to Source. Everything. There are no hiding places from the eyes of the Creator. Absolutely not. And there's no ears. God sees everything and feels and experiences everything you go through, God goes through. If you can understand that. That's why when you pass from this astral plane, this earth, you are going to be made to feel all of the pain that you inflicted on everybody at once, whatever that is. And how the universe works is that if, let's say, you physically abused somebody, when you pass, your soul will assume the form of that person that you abused, and you're going to go back in that moment and you'll actually watch yourself abuse yourself. That's exactly how the universe works. And for these people that are racist and all of this, fascist, all this stuff, or like the KKK, people seem to think, they're going to burn in hell. It really depends. Because what happens is how the universe really humbles you is, let's say these guys hung somebody who was black, which they always do. So what the universe does is, when one of these KKK guys dies, they don't just go straight to hell. They're reincarnated as the very victim that they tortured. So in other words, you have a KKK that dies as a white guy, and he comes back as a black man, and then he, as a black man, is persecuted in that life. That's karma. That's karmic debt. I remember one time, many, many years ago, somebody sent me a link to a video. It was a village in Africa, a very small village. And you see this very muddied water hole. And all of these people were gathered around the edge of the hole, and they had these wicker baskets in the shape of cones, very large. I'd say maybe like 3 feet long. And they were just gathered around there, staring at the watering hole. It's like a muddy hole. And all of a sudden you heard a gunshot go off. And then when the moment that happened, they all converged in on the water hole. And they were looking for fish. And I started crying because I couldn't believe that these people are so impoverished. It just broke my heart. And then immediately, God told me, stop crying. Because in a past life, all of these people were emperors and kings and rulers. And these were the people that punished and tortured the innocent. And this is how I humble them. And I was like, whoa. That blew my freaking mind. And I stopped crying. And I remember I asked one time to God, why do you allow these criminals to get away with these crimes? And what God told me is that there is no such thing as a perfect crime because I'm watching all the time. They're just fooling themselves. There is no such thing as a perfect crime because the eyes of God are watching all the time. Jesus Christ once told me, if they knew the consequences, they would never commit the crime. So you think this is like a playground because you don't see cameras and surveillance equipment and other people around, that you could just be free to do what you want, like any type of criminal activity, whatever it is? You're fooling yourself because the universe is watching everything. You can go as deep as you can underground or into the woods or a tunnel. It doesn't matter. There's nowhere that God isn't. So there you go. And that's just the straight truth.